Good morning children. As in the previous classes we discussed about two important factors of production, that is land and labor. Now today we are going to learn about the third important factor of production, that is capital. The capital needed in farming. We know we have studied what is capital. Capital is the amount or the machines. Okay, there are physical capital or human capital also are there. Mostly the capital is the amount or money which is invested in farming. So you have already seen the modern farming methods like using the tractors or irrigation facilities, etc. These all require. We also studied that high yielding varieties of crops were used. So all these methods require a great deal of capital. So we need the farmer now needs more money than before. Earlier when they were using the traditional methods, they did not need much money to invest in farming. Most small farmers, we know that they do not have much money deposits with them in their banks, so they have to borrow money from or arrange for the capital. So they generally borrow from large farmers. There are some farmers, we know that more than 10 acres land also. See, these small farmers borrow money from the large farmers or money lenders. Money lenders are there, and sometimes they also collect money for take loan from the traders who are purchasing their goods. So these people collect a rate of interest is very high. So they have to pay a high rate of interest. They are all great distress to repay the loan. We know that when the harvest is less, also if there is no rainfall, they have to suffer. In contrast to the small farmers, we know that the large and medium sized farmers, they have large areas of land, large acres of land, and after the harvesting or the selling the crops, they have surplus. They have surplus amount of money and they can save it in the bank. Also they can lend the money to the small farmers also. So they do not have any problem with the arranging of capital. So we have read about the three factors of production in this chapter: land, labor and capital. So how they are used in Palanpur, the farmers are using these three factors of production. So among the three factors of production, we found that the labor is the most abundant factor of production. Land is less. We have studied it is limited and fixed also. Capital also, how farmers are arranging capital. Now another one is labor. Labor is plenty available. Why there is a lot of laborers are available? We know large number of people living in villages are uneducated. They do not find any suitable jobs or better jobs for them in the towns and cities. They have to live in the villages itself because of uneducation and unskilled people they are. So they belong to the small poor families or small farmer families, so that they are also there is a high demand for work or labor. But so that in the agricultural field also, we know that a number of people are working there, so they are ready to work for in order to find out work is insufficient, so that they are ready to work for low wages also. When there is no high demand for labor, wages also will be increasing. But here there is a number of people are ready to work for low wages, so that in this region, in Palanpur, now many workers are available. Many landless poor peasants are there. They need to work in the large farmers' farms, so that they are ready to work for less wages also. And we know there are these landless farm laborers, comparing when we are large farmers or medium farmers have a better lifestyle, because they have a surplus food grains after the cultivation. Also they sell it in the market and earn more profit that will be deposited for the further cultivation, or they also can buy tractors or other modern equipments also. Small farmers usually need to borrow money from or arrange for the capital, but the large farmers or medium farmers, they have a savings also. Okay, so here the small farmers are distressed because they have to repay the loan to them with a high rate of interest. Okay, so it is possible to increase the capital, whereas the land is fixed. Capital can be increased, but land is fixed. So it's very important that we take good care of the land, because land is limited, it's a natural resource, and when the quality of the land is decreased or deteriorated, it cannot be replenished. So that we need to use carefully the land. How the sale of the surplus farm production taking place? We have already studied that there are different types of transportation available. Mostly traditional methods are using, like tongawalas and rickshawalas are available, and modern transportation facilities also, like the trucks etc. for carrying the goods from Palampur to the cities and towns. So here we can take the example. Suppose the farmers have produced wheat on their land using the three factors of production: land, labor, capital, etc. Wheat is harvested and production is completed. When wheat is harvested, production is over. What the farmers do? They don't have sufficient storage facilities in their homes. So they have to sell out it immediately after harvesting. Okay, so we know that large farmers have storage facilities at home. So they wait until the market rates of wheat increases. Other small farmers, they have to wait, they have to sell out the crops immediately after harvesting. So here we have studied about Govind's family. He has three sons. When they have when they were collectively cultivating, when the Govind was alive, they were collectively farming. That time they had much surplus production also, but when it was after Govind's death, when the land was divided among the three sons, they all got a small plot of land, so that it was insufficient for their own consumption, their own family consumption, and these people had to work outside also in order to earn some extra money. So here Tejpal Singh, we have studied another example. He is a large farmer. He has a surplus production, 350 quintals of wheat he had harvested from his land. So he can sell this surplus production in the market and earn more money or more profit. That amount can be used for the further cultivation, for buying tractors or buying other equipments or buying better seeds. Even this surplus amount he can lend to the small farmers or laborers also. So he can collect a huge rate of interest also from these people. So here other large and medium farmers like Tejpal Singh sell the surplus farm products. So a part of these earnings they are saving also. So they can buy cattle also for extra income, cattle or trucks, or they can even set up shops also, their own shops also. So these are the farm activities taking place in Palampur.